This knife right here could not even slice through a ripe tomato a few minutes ago. By the end of this video, it is going to glide through paper as clean as a brand new blade. And I am doing the entire thing without one single professional sharpening tool. No knife shop, no expensive sharpening kit. Just a few simple items you probably already have sitting in your kitchen or your garage. Stick with me, because the exact technique and the small mistakes that ruin most kitchen knives are coming up shortly. Quick safety note before we begin. We are working with a sharp blade today, so please follow every safety tip I mention along the way. If you want more simple, low-cost fixes like this one, hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a video. Let's talk about exactly what you need for this, because I promise you already have most of it at home. First, grab a few sheets of sandpaper in different grits. A coarser grit around 200, a medium grit around 400, and a finer grit around 1000 will give you the best results. Second, you need a flat, hard surface to work on, like a thick piece of glass, a smooth wooden board, or even a kitchen counter. Third, grab a plain ceramic mug or bowl, the kind with an unglazed ring on the bottom. That rough little ring is going to become one of your secret tools today. Fourth, find an old leather belt or a pair of denim jeans you don't mind using. Fifth, keep a small amount of water or vegetable oil nearby, along with a clean cloth or paper towel. Sixth, and this part is important, use a cut-resistant glove or a thick folded towel to protect your hand while you work. Finally, keep a sheet of paper and a tomato close by, because we are going to use both of them later for the dramatic before and after test. That's it. Every single item on that list probably cost you nothing, because you already own it. Now, let's get into the actual method, step by step, so you can revive that dull knife today. Start by laying your sandpaper flat on your hard surface, coarse side facing up, and secure the edges with a bit of tape so it does not slip while you work. Lightly dampen the sandpaper with a few drops of water. This keeps the metal dust down and helps the paper cut more smoothly into the blade. Now, put on your protective glove and pick up the knife with a firm, relaxed grip. Find your angle. For most kitchen knives, you want to hold the blade at roughly 15 to 20 degrees against the sandpaper, which is a fairly shallow, flat-looking angle, not standing the blade upright. This angle is the single most important part of the entire process, because if it keeps changing, your edge will end up uneven and just as dull as before. Once you have that angle locked in, drag the blade across the sandpaper from the base near the handle to the tip, using smooth, even strokes, almost like you are trying to shave a thin layer off the surface of the paper. Repeat that same motion around 8 to 10 times on one side of the blade, always keeping that same shallow angle. Then flip the knife over and repeat the exact same number of strokes on the other side. This back and forth balance is what keeps your edge centered, instead of leaning to one side. Once you finish with the coarse grit, switch to your medium grit sandpaper and repeat the same process, but this time only about 6 strokes per side. This stage starts smoothing out the rough scratches left by the coarse paper and begins shaping a cleaner edge. After that, move to your finest grit and repeat the process one more time with just 4 to 5 gentle strokes per side. At this point, you should already feel and see a noticeable difference in the edge. Now here is where that ceramic mug comes in. Flip the mug upside down and find that unglazed rough ring on the bottom. Holding the same shallow angle, gently drag the blade along that ring, a few light strokes on each side. This step works almost like a fine honing stone, smoothing out any tiny imperfections left behind by the sandpaper. Next, grab your leather belt or your pair of jeans and lay it flat on the table. Instead of dragging the blade edge forward like before, this time you drag it backward, spine leading, like you are gently wiping the blade clean rather than cutting into the material. Do 10 to 15 light passes on each side. This stropping step is what removes the microscopic burr left on the edge and gives the blade that final, almost polished sharpness. If your knife was only mildly dull to begin with, there is also a faster emergency method worth knowing. Fold a sheet of aluminum foil in on itself 5 or 6 times until it forms a thick, sturdy pad. Glide the blade through the folded foil at that same shallow angle, about 10 times per side. This will not fix a badly damaged edge, but it can realign a slightly rolled edge in under a minute when you need a quick touch-up. Once you have gone through sandpaper, the mug, and the strop, wipe the entire blade down thoroughly with your clean cloth to remove any metal dust or residue before you test it. Now, for the part you have been waiting for, the results. Grab that sheet of paper and hold it up with one hand. Before this process, a dull knife will usually snag, tear, or crumple the paper instead of slicing through it. Now, run your freshly revived blade through the paper with light pressure. It should glide straight through in one clean, smooth cut, almost with no resistance at all. Next comes the tomato test. A dull blade tends to squash the skin and needs real downward pressure just to break through. Set the tip of your revived knife gently on the tomato skin and let the blade do the work. It should slice straight in and glide down cleanly without you pressing hard at all. That difference you just saw, from tearing paper and crushing a tomato to slicing through both effortlessly, is the entire transformation this method delivers, and you did it with items that already sit around your house. Let's quickly talk about why this actually works, because understanding it will help you get even better results next time. A knife edge is not one continuous smooth line under a microscope. It is actually a row of microscopic teeth. Over time, from regular cutting, that edge rolls slightly to one side, or tiny sections chip and flatten, and that is what you feel as dullness. When you drag the blade across sandpaper at the right angle, you are physically grinding away a very thin layer of metal until a fresh, sharp apex reforms along the edge. Starting with a coarser grit removes more metal quickly to reshape a badly rolled or damaged edge, while the medium and fine grits gradually smooth out the deeper scratches left behind, refining that edge into something thinner and sharper. The unglazed ceramic ring works the same way a fine honing stone does, gently smoothing the very last microscopic imperfections without removing much metal at all. Stropping on leather or denim does not sharpen in the traditional sense. Instead, it realigns the microscopic teeth of the edge and strips away the tiny burr that forms during grinding, which is often the difference between a knife that feels sharp and one that actually cuts cleanly. That is the entire science behind this method: layered abrasion, followed by careful polishing and realignment. Before you go try this yourself, let's cover a few important safety points and extra tips. Always keep your fingers well behind the cutting edge at every stage of this process, whether you are grinding, honing, or stropping. Never test sharpness by running your finger directly across the blade. Use the paper test instead. It is safer and just as accurate. Always cut and drag the blade away from your body, never toward it. Work slowly and with light. Controlled pressure, forcing the blade down harder, does not sharpen it faster. It only increases your risk of slipping. Once you are finished, dry the blade completely with a cloth, since any leftover moisture combined with metal dust can lead to rust forming on the edge. Store your knives properly afterward, ideally in a knife block, on a magnetic strip, or with blade guards, rather than loose in a drawer where they knock against other utensils and dull again quickly. If you have kids at home, keep this entire setup, sandpaper, foil, and knives, completely out of their reach, both during and after the process. And one more tip. Try to avoid cutting directly on glass, ceramic, or stone surfaces going forward, since those materials are some of the fastest ways to dull a blade all over again. Let's take a quick moment to talk about why knives go dull in the first place, because understanding this helps this fix actually last longer. Most dulling happens gradually through everyday habits. Cutting boards that are too hard, knives rattling around loose in a drawer with forks and spoons, running blades through the dishwasher, or trying to cut through frozen food and bones with a knife that was never meant for that kind of pressure. None of that means you are doing anything wrong. It just means kitchen knives need a little regular attention to stay in good shape. The good news is that once you revive an edge using this method, a quick touch-up with the mug or the strop every few weeks can keep that blade performing well for a long time before you ever need to repeat the full process. So let's quickly recap what we covered today. You took a knife that could barely tear through paper or a tomato, and using nothing more than sandpaper, a ceramic mug, a leather belt, and a little patience, you brought that edge back to life. No professional sharpening tools, no expensive equipment, and no trip to a knife shop required. If this video helped you save your favorite kitchen knife, give it a like so more people can find this simple method. Drop a comment and let me know how sharp your knife turned out. I read every single one. And if you want more practical, low-cost fixes like this one delivered straight to you, make sure you are subscribed and tap that notification bell so you never miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.